you feel uneasy about something. Your stomach's in knots, your mind is running over the same thoughts over and over again. And then comes the question, is this my intuition telling me something that I need to listen to, or is it just anxiety? It's not always easy to tell because both can feel urgent, both can feel real, and both can push you to act, but they are different. And learning to tell them apart will help you to make better decisions without second guessing yourself every single time. So today we're going to go through 5 ways to tell if it's intuition or your anxiety. Hi, I'm Madalena and this is You Reclaimed. On this channel, we talk about how to take our lives back from the lasting effects of childhood trauma, of anxiety, and of emotional dysregulation so that we can finally live life on our own terms. All right, let's get into it. Intuition versus anxiety. How can you tell?
Wait, did you subscribe yet? I have a lot more to share and I'd love to have you here for it. It really helps my channel grow and I appreciate it so much.
The first thing to notice is where the feeling starts. Did the feeling or thought come to you during a calm, peaceful moment, or did it come to you right in the middle of stress, over an overwhelming event or situation, or a moment of emotional dysregulation? Intuition usually appears when you're centered and present. Maybe you're driving, you're walking, you're showering, just going about your day, and you suddenly get this quiet sense that something is off or something is right. Anxiety, on the other hand, is often a reaction to stress. It shows up when you're already on edge. And it tends to be triggered by a chain of thoughts, by what-if scenarios, or something that's already bothering you, that your unconscious is trying to turn over and over, trying to get to the bottom of. Another clue is how your body reacts when the feeling or the thought comes to you. With intuition, you might notice subtle physical signals like a little bit of tension in your stomach or a shift in your breathing or goosebumps, but it won't feel like you're collapsing into panic. Anxiety, on the other hand, it tends to take over your nervous system. Your heart rate goes up, your breathing gets shallow. You might feel a rush of adrenaline, your muscles might tense up and get really tight. One feels like a message that almost spontaneously comes to you. The other feels like your whole body has been set on high alert. Another simple way to check in with yourself is to imagine the outcome of whatever it is you're trying to get to the bottom of or decide. So picture yourself having already made the decision, dating the person, leaving the job, moving to the new city, whatever it is. How does that imagined future feel in your body? If it feels calm and steady and like something that you can handle, even if it is something challenging, that's often a sign that it's your intuition talking. If, on the other hand, it feels tense and emotionally or physically draining or heavy or unpleasant before it's even had a chance to happen, that's more likely your anxiety talking. It also helps to look at your track record with this kind of feeling, even though I know it's hard to tell. But when you've had these kinds of feelings before, where did they lead you? If you acted on your feelings, was it generally pointing you in the right direction? Or has it tended to pull you into unnecessary fears or more anxiety or avoidance even of doing certain things, of making certain kinds of decisions? Because our history of trauma or unresolved attachment wounds and the patterns that we carry along with us throughout life, they can make it very confusing to know if we're experiencing a moment of intuition or just more anxiety. But intuition has a way of quietly being right more often than being wrong. Anxiety, on the other hand, it tends to make urgent predictions that don't usually come true, but they still feel very urgent in your body. They feel urgent in a moment and they demand all of your attention. They're just not usually on point. Finally, notice the emotional tone underneath the feeling. Anxiety often feels chaotic or critical, even judgmental, either towards yourself or towards others. It's noisy. Anxiety has a whole lot to say, and it goes about sending the message very loudly. Intuition tends to be calm, even when it has a hard truth for you to digest, to look at, or a difficult situation for you to understand. There is an underlying sense of, okay, I can handle this, whatever it is. If what you're feeling comes with panic, with doom, or the sense that there's no way you can survive the outcome of whatever this is, it's more likely to be anxiety. Anxiety brings a lot of fears, most of them unfounded, because the fears are based on future projections and imaginings of what could go wrong, what could befall us, how things could take a dark turn. If it comes with steady clarity, even about something difficult, that's more likely your intuition. So, next time you're caught in the middle of that question, is this my intuition or my anxiety? Just walk yourself through these 5 checks. Where did this feeling start? What's my body doing while I'm thinking about this or while I'm having this feeling? What happens when I do imagine the possible outcome? What's my track record with having this kind of feeling in the past? Did I make the right decision before? And what's the emotional tone underneath it? The more you practice noticing these differences, the easier it becomes to trust yourself and to act with clarity instead of reactivity. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please consider subscribing and liking so that we can keep going together. Until next time.